Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Nothing stopping PM from signing StatDec. Go ahead April 5, 2022, 12.05 am. Save login, register or subscribe to save articles for later. Share normal text size, larger text size, very large text size. Credit Kathy Wilcox. If Scott Morrison is prepared to sign a statutory declaration, afford him the opportunity. Someone is not telling the truth. Under fire. PM prepared to sign StatDec, April 4. If it's Toke or Morrison, we need to know. Racial slurs or accusations thereof should not be tolerated. Frank Carroll, Maruka, QLD. Scott Morrison says he's prepared to sign a statutory declaration denying the accusations of Michael Toke, but hasn't been asked to, because the matter is not before a court. A statutory declaration can be made at any time on anything. It does not need to relate to a court matter. So don't let that stop you, Mr. Morrison. What I find curious is that Mr. Morrison has not initiated legal proceedings against those who he claims have made false statutory declarations, an offence punishable in NSW by up to 5 years in prison. Brendan Jones, Annandale. I don't believe that Scott Morrison will ever sign a statutory declaration professing he didn't play on race during the Cook pre-selection. It is not illegal to lie in politics, as we have witnessed on numerous occasions over the last couple of decades, but it is illegal to lie in a statutory declaration. Graham Finn, Summerhill. Credit John Shakespeare. An array of constituent supporters are rolled out to defend Scott Morrison's integrity, but there is little mention of the eminent detractors with much to say about the PM's unusual approach to truth-telling. As this story deals directly with character, it might be worth mentioning some of those, including Malcolm Turnbull, Barnaby Joyce, Gladys Berejiklian, Emmanuel Macron and, of course, Concetta Fierravanti-Wells, who have called Morrison a liar, a hypocrite, a horrible, horrible person, a complete psycho, manipulative and a bully with no moral compass or conscience. Outraged denial is always his response. Alison Stewart, Riverview. Scott Morrison's announcement he is willing to sign a statutory declaration denying he racially vilified a political competitor remains as nothing other than another hollow announcement unless he actually does it. Mark Pearce, Richmond. As if signing a StatDec is conclusive, Mr. Morrison. Surely, the question, ultimately, is who to believe. The sentiment in the saying, creditors have better memories than debtors, is not entirely inappropriate. Vilifiers are more prone to forget than those vilified. Edward Lung, Milson's Point. Mr. Morrison is prepared to sign a statutory declaration to clear his name of the bitter and malicious slurs around his 2007 pre-selection. I believe the electorate will not only see and raise his StatDec but ultimately trump him with our collective ballot papers. Peter Snowden, Orange. The Prime Minister would have us believe such a diverse group as Barnaby Joyce, Malcolm Turnbull, Emmanuel Macron, Concetta Fierravanti-Wells, Michael Toke and Julia Banks were all motivated by something other than honesty in commenting on his character and behavior. Seriously? Tony Judge, Worldjulga. We have an unbelievable PM, literally. Rob Mills, Riverview. Consultants in public service. Hard to justify the article about the use of consultants for developing public policy. Consultants can help deliver better policy. April 4. Read a bit like a commercial for the continued funneling of public money to the writers' sector. I have long criticized the loss of experience, historical knowledge and honed skills as the public service has been degraded by successive, mostly conservative, governments. The claimed savings disappear into the coffers of consultants, or the work just doesn't get done and the functionality of government shrinks yet again. But recent failures in government responses to natural disasters has demonstrated that we need that depth of knowledge, experience and continuity that a properly funded, professional, secure public service gives. The article cites the career prospects and pay levels attracting bright minds to the private sector, without considering that these things used to apply to the public service until conservative governments started their war on the providers of frank and fearless advice, because they often dislike frank and fearless. nor does it demonstrate that the advice coming from consultants is better than that from a mature public service. Consultants' reports have underpinned a plethora of disputed and discredited government projects. Stein Boddington, St. Clair. No doubt there are good consultants. Those with unique skills willing to jeopardize repeat work by telling you what you don't want to hear. But government demonstrates time and again consultants are used to validate decisions already made.